Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel.
Z Garcia, how you doing, folks?
Sam Healy.
And today we are continuing my top 100 games of all time. Now, one of the things about these top 100 games, and people get caught up in this all the time, is the movement within the list. Mm-hmm. It's not as big of a deal, I think. And sometimes people get really upset when I say, oh, this game is great, and it's on my top 100 list for 2 or 3 years, and then it falls off and dies, and they'll say, see, it doesn't have longevity. That doesn't necessarily mean the game doesn't have longevity. It just means it didn't have longevity for me. Mm-hmm. And maybe other games push it out.
You're going to let that go 3 times?
Yeah.
What?
It's longevity.
Oh, yeah.
Not longevity.
I was talking about the lines around the
That's nope.
It's still not right.
that longitude.
Nope.
Longitude, yes, but it's not longevity.
As you can see, I brought these guys here to give me encouragement and back up as I do my top 10.
Let the raggedy begin.
Well, let's get into it with number 80. Number 80, as many of the games were last week, is out of print. But in this regard, you can go on eBay probably and get it pretty cheaply. And that's Warlord, the collectible card game.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Warlord, the CCG?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did. Now, I don't have many CCGs on my list, and in
Never played it.
fact... Yeah, you did. You hated it. You hated it.
It's like another CCG. It uses D20 system of rolling, but everything else is classic, archaic CCG. Like, too many rules, everything's fiddly, but you roll the D20, and they were like, oh, it's a system you know how to play already if you're a role
I
player.
thought you liked this game.
Warlord is not one of my favorite CCGs.
All right, well, it is one of mine. I like the concept of it. I mean, again, it's the guy versus guy thing, Warlord versus Warlord.
Sure.
But in this one, you were backed up by having different units, kind of in a pyramid style in front of you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about resources to get people out. This was a resource-less type game. It was more being able to, having support of other troops to get things out.
Right.
And then there's the D20 combat system, which I like the D20 combat system. I always have. It was on my top 10 combat systems.
I'll tell you, if somebody decides to get this puppy and then reprint it in a cleaned up Doomtown Netrunner sort of way, I might be back on board. Because it definitely would benefit from being streamlined and from some good artwork. It's got that awful, mid-90s artwork,
Okay.
Well, it could happen, though, because the last publisher in America that publishes was AEG.
Right.
And they already did take Deadlands, Doomtown, and run that.
Right.
Maybe they'll do it with this one. They also, I think, had the 7th Sea one, the pirate one. So, who knows?
Yes, I think so.
Well, anyway, I still like this. Even though it's out of print, you can get it pretty cheap if you really want it.
Yeah.
Another game that's been on my list for who knows how long. And last year was 36, so I guess it's somewhat of a drop. But I still like it. Sam and I played it a few months ago, and that's Power Grid. Power Grid is one of those games that I would think Sam doesn't like. Just if I explain it to him, he'd be like, if I explain it to you, you probably wouldn't be interested in it.
Right.
Because you'd be like, what, it's over an hour?
Right.
It's an economic game, but for some reason, the whole thing flows. In Power Grid, you are interested the entire time. Z's doing stuff, and I'm watching it because I don't want him messing with my Power Grid that I'm setting up.
Right.
What resources is he buying? Because that messes with me. It has one of the best balanced economic systems there are. With the resources, and then you're like, oh, Sam and Z are both, using coal plants. I better pull out of that. Right. It's time for me to switch to oil, and there's just this natural ebb and flow in the game of that, and I like that. And the auctions, I'm not a huge auction guy. You're not going to find a lot of auction games on my list, but the auction in Power Grid is really interesting, all the way up to the final auctions. And that 50 free, that 50 power plant, the one that starts at 50, that. You don't need any resources to power, and that's going to go for a lot of money. But how much? Because money is a tiebreaker in Power Grid, and there's many ties in Power Grid.
Yeah, it's a solid game. Happy to see it on the list.
All right, Power Grid, yeah! My number 78 is the game that pushed one of my favorite racing games off the list, Blight, which isn't like it's still in the top 110, and that's Thunder Alley, which is right over here, a GMT game.
Thunder Alley.
Thunder Alley.
Racing game.
Yep.
I have not played that one. Have you played, Sam?
No, I have not.
No.
Let's give him some garbage anyway. We will. Go ahead, talk about it.
The whole aspect of the game, there's several things I like about it. One, you have multiple cars.
Garbage.
You have multiple cars as you're racing them around. And I like that because if one of your cars is doing poorly...
Do you ever turn right?
no, you don't.
Done.
So anyhow, for those of you who are still with me, no, but the idea is, even if, let's say Sam has 4 cars and he's weaning with a mile by 1.
I'm weaning?
Winning.
I'm weaning. I'm the wiener.
You're winning by a mile by 1. You know, you have to do the other 3 up. And then there's drafting in the
You have
game.
to get all 4 cars through first? Is that
No,
the deal?
but you like add together points for the numbers they get through, and so that works out well. You got to get them, and there's drafting in the game. When you move, you bring the cars behind you, so you're trying to get the cars, all your cars in one line, so you can move them all together, or get a car behind someone else, so that when they move, your car goes with them. And it's a very clean system. With the card play, and you can't play too many cards of certain types or your cards will take damage. There's a little bit of random events that might happen, but other than that, I'm very impressed with it. It simulates going around 500 times by you going around 3 times, but that's like going around 500 times, because when the car moves in front, that's like we just went around 3 times and I pulled in front of you.
Right, so the way it really should be is what you're saying.
Right. And can you imagine one that made you go around 500 times? I played one that had that in the rules.
That's not on the top 100.
This game would be even higher if it had really good pieces with it. And in fact, I'm still every once in a while go on eBay and try to buy a set of painted little cars that I can stick in the game.
Nice.
It's going to happen one of these times. It's NASCAR, even though they don't use the name. Hey, you may be wondering where Z has gone.
And why our clothes magically changed. And your hat.
That's because we, when Sam was editing the video, we realized that for some reason I didn't mention 77. So, sorry. But we got it in time.
Yes.
So anyhow, my number 77 is Smash Up. And Smash Up is on the list because I don't know what it is. I get a blast out of playing it, and I like the fact that it's just so huge at this point.
It's a fun game.
I mean, even including the Munchkin expansion, which I know you haven't played, and probably have not a ton of desire to play. But I really did like the Munchkin thing. It added a treasure deck and a monster deck, so like the dwarves have treasure cards that they can draw. And you know you'll probably end up playing the dwarves at some point. Yeah, you will. You'll play like Ghosts of Dwarves or Ninja Dwarves. Ninja Dwarves seems kind of odd. But that's what I like about the game, is that you can make all these weird combinations. And there's no killer combination. The game could use... They made a big box version, but it could use a deluxe version. I have these custom things someone made me where you can keep track of the points of a base around the outside. That's something AEG should probably do, I think, because it's so useful.
Yeah.
Either way, lots of factions. It's a pretty easy game to play.
Very easy.
And it's a good gateway game, but one I still enjoy playing myself. Again, that's partially because they've made 800 expansions. Probably 6. But it's still a lot. So that's Smash Up.
Would Z give you crap about this?
I don't know. Would he?
I don't know.
We'll pretend he is.
That's a stupid game.
Thanks, Z.
You're welcome.
My number 76 has been on the list for 3 years, although it's a different name all the time. This year we're going to call it Temple of Elemental Evil, even though it's been Shadows of Castle Ravenloft and Drizzt, the Dungeons and Dragons one right here.
Dragons combat system or whatever.
Yeah, Wrath of Shardline.
Right, that's it.
The newest one is Temple of Elemental Evil from WizKids. They picked it up and they pretty much made it exactly the same. You won't be able to tell one game from the other.
Okay.
I like this game because I don't look at it as a dungeon crawl. I like dungeon crawls, but I'm pretty picky with them. This one I look at as a co-op game. We're trying to all get in, enemies show up, we fight them, and we work together to fight off the different enemies. And again, it has the D20 combat system, which is something I like.
Yeah.
It has tons of plastic miniatures, especially since I have 4 sets of it now. Is there 4 sets? No, there's 5 sets.
No.
There's 5 sets.
Really?
No, there's 4 sets. I don't know. There's a lot of sets. 4 sets maybe. But they also came out.
4 or 5 sets.
Okay, but they also came out with all those 2-player games with all those extra miniatures that Wizard of the Coast put out, and I was able to put all. I just stuck them all in this game because that's what I like the fact that they made
so
the
you're
cards.
grouping it under this is all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Legends of Drift won't show up somewhere else.
No, they all play on pretty much exactly the same, and they're all compatible with each other. And I'm the kind of guy who likes that better. I don't want to go into a dungeon where you fight a skeleton, then a mummy, then a ghost, then a skeleton, then a mummy, then a ghost. I want it to be like a skeleton, then a goblin, then an elemental. I don't know why. I like it that way. Okay. I like that you never know what's going to show up. Theme, who cares in that regard? I like the whole any monster could be around the corner.
Gelatinous cube for the win.
They still don't have one of those in that game.
What's wrong with them? Best monster ever.
And now another game that's been on my list forever. Better than Battlestar Galactica. And that's Shadows over Camelot. Come on, you like it so much!
I do like it, but I don't like it better.
And
BSG has so much.
So BFC's not on the list.
Thematic
You said
element.
that. You've said that.
I said
before,
it's
right?
in my top 200 probably. But Shadows over Camelot just keeps hanging in there because, again, the accessibility of it. Coupled with how beautiful the game is. Yes, each year we play it, we make more and more fun of the theme. As much as I love the Camelot theme, there are times where it's like, I hate
Shadows over Poker. Poker? Poker?
Oh,
You've been hanging around with this guy.
I know.
Too much.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting at Poker. Definitely Shadows over Poker.
I like
I
how
do
you
not have
whispered
a
out
poker
something and it still
face.
turns into making fun of me. Anyhow,
This game definitely has longevity, which is the way to say that word, in spades. It is this is one of the earlier co-ops, for adults anyway, that came out, and it's still, Lord of the Rings isn't going to be on the list, and it's amazing the replayability this game has. Yeah. And that's with one expansion, which most people don't even worry about, right?
yeah, you don't even need it.
It's amazing.
Well, part of it also is the fact that it's 7 players.
Sure.
And it's 7 players where there's games that say 7 players. I'm like, not playing with 7. But in this one, we do play with 7, and it works. Yeah. Supposedly you can drop in and out. I've done that a few times. But anyway, Shadows over Camelot.
Cool. Good choice.
Okay, on the top 100, this is the first new game that's also new this year. Ooh. And this is one that as soon as I played it, I knew it would probably hit the top 100, even though I do not like the Warhammer 40k universe that much. And that is Forbidden Stars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. If the combat system alone, which, yes, folks, I know, I should have put that in my top 10 combat systems, because I really like the combat system there. It's different, it's unique, it's basically whoever has more of the morale symbols, but at the same time you can also kill everybody beforehand. So,
okay,
which is actually kind of what the battles were in Warhammer. You tried to kill the other people, but that didn't work. Then you had morale checks, and they would break and run. So it's kind of the same thing here. Has great miniatures. It has a good overarching space theme to it. Okay. I think this could go higher when I see the expansions. I know they're making a Tyranid for it. And cool. I like to see even expansions that added stuff to each of the existing factions.
They're probably going to be purple too, I would imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense. One thing I also like about it is it's one of these big space games, but plays really well with 2 players also.
Right.
It plays best as 2 players.
That's what I've heard.
I might not argue that.
It's like it's longer than 30 minutes or something. I'm not playing that, but yeah, I've heard it was better with 2 than with more.
With Z, I'm like, here's the rules. I turn the page, and he's like, what? 2 pages? Gone.
I'm out.
So anyway, but it is a beautiful game. It's not getting as much buzz right now as it was, although, that's the cult of the future society that we're in. But I do like it, and so check it out. The next game has been on the list for 3 years. This is a worker placement game, and it's a Euro game Sam likes, and that's Francis Drake.
Oh, that's cool.
Francis Drake, a big giant box full of tons of wooden components. This is by the Peter Peter Hall's the same guy who did Royals, which is a game that's in the Dice Tower Essentials. Francis Drake, when I first played it, I was like, oh man, I hope this is good. Because it had this big board. Yeah. But it uses the Tokaido method where you can move as far as you want on this track. But once you move there, you can't go back. Yeah. But if you go somewhere before someone else, they can't go to those spots. You actually take the spots forever when you go there. So it's this mixed match. I'm like, ooh, I need more cannons. But I could stay here and get money, but if I wait, Sam might get those cannons. And that's a really good mechanism. And so the game is actually two halves. One is that whole get the resources half, and then the other is send out your ships to different areas and hope no one else decides to go to that same area.
Each round is split up in those two halves.
Yeah. Right. So I think it's a solid game, not too long, but offers a lot of meaningful choices.
Yeah, it does.
My number 72 is a pirate-themed game.
Aha!
What game might this be that we couldn't think of yesterday?
Libertalia.
Libertalia, yes.
Oh, good one. Good.
You will not find Citadels on my top 100 anymore. I do like Citadels. It's an excellent game, but Libertalia kind of just, I'd rather play that. It has a very similar thing where everyone's playing cards, but each game feels very different because you start with different cards at each game. There's random 9 cards you start with. Yeah. And then another 9 card or another 6 cards added to that, and so on. Right. I also like being able to save 3 cards from round to round. Like, ooh, no one else played this guy yet. I'll play him next round. Wait, you saved him for next round too? Because he's always doing what I do.
Yeah, I definitely like that the game over those 3 rounds, your hand really changes to no longer be like everyone else's hand at the beginning of the game. Because you got the same 9 cards at the beginning. On the 3rd round, you could technically have just 3 cards that overlap, really. Right. That's great, and the game is just a spectacular but clean design. Love it, love it.
And I also like the fact that, you know, the interaction is pretty high in the game. You know, I'm doing things to you, I'm doing things to you. I play a guy at a certain time, and then we're both sitting there. When are you going to play that card? Right. Are you playing it this round or next round?
Yeah.
Great
also,
stuff.
Probably best pirate artwork in any game.
It's really good.
Unless you're looking for cartoony pirates, but this is like some of the best realistic pirate artwork.
I'm going to say tentative yes to that. I'm afraid to, because there might be something better.
I don't like the word best, because that denotes exclusivity, and I'm not willing to give that game that level of prominence just yet.
It's the best.
It's fun. Okay, the last one for this time here is another one that's been on my list forever, and it's on both these guys' top 100, so they better agree with this one.
Nope.
And that is Kingsburg.
Ugh.
Kingsburg.
Oh, last week.
I cannot lie.
I can lie.
Yes, you can.
Usually very good.
That happens all the time. Kingsburg, a game when we just, on Tuesday night, there were some people playing Kingsburg.
Really?
And they were playing...
I didn't see that.
That's because you were caught up in the other game.
Yes.
They were playing Kingsburg with the expansion, teaching new people, and I thought, yep, you can do that. You can teach new people with those big...
Oh, while I was playing Champions?
Yes, just the big 5 board.
Yeah, that's cool.
And there's something about it. It's clean, it's good, it's easy. I like the new one, Kingsport, the Cthulhu one. That one's fine. But Kingsburg beat it out for the top 100, if only, again, it's easy to teach people and also did not take up a whole table like Kingsport does. Kingsport has those boards all over the place, and it's super dark, which is fine sometimes, but my kids one of them would have nightmares over the pictures in that game. Well, that's why she already doesn't come in this room.
Because I do that?
Because no, just you in general. Nah, maybe. Okay, well, those are my top 10.
Things just got real, y'all.
I'm still getting good things from these guys. Next one is where my goodwill goes away.
I can't wait.
I'll see you guys then next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zigarcia.
Sam Healy.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.